So what would you say if I told you that this Dubwool is actually super cracked? It makes a good, fun, budget deck that can actually topple some of the big boys in the format. You'd probably be like, yo, this man is crazy. Has he had enough sleep today? Has he had enough sleep today? He's telling me that Dubwool is a good deck. Well, just watch this game, alright? Because we're going to absolutely stomp this deck. And we're going to do it with having some crucial prize cards in there that we won't have access to for a long time. Let me show you. So Dubwool is a stage 1 Pokemon with that bounce attack. That's actually going to be our main attack there, which is 30 damage and lets you swap around your active of your bench. Okay, now that sounds pretty low. However, if you've been playing for a while, you will know that there was a card called Donphan, right? We had a very similar attack. That was for 40 damage though, spinning turn, and that was super relevant. That was a crazy attacker, because what Donphan used to do was just use damage modifiers such as strong energy, muscle band, fighting stadium, to where you could actually start hitting crazy good numbers. And that's the exact same thing we're doing here today, because our Dubwool we can power up with choice band to get an extra 30. So now we're doing 50, powerful energy to where we do an extra 20, and then Radiant Hawlucha to where we can start. And you can see we're starting to get towards 100 damage there. Now, you've already seen, if you're watching the gameplay, the Pokemon that we're going to be spinning into there is Miltank with that Miracle Body ability, which means it is immune, straight up immune to damage from the Pokemon. So you can see what we're going to do. We're going to use Bounce. We're going to spin into a Miltank, which will then be immune. Our opponent can't do anything about it, and then we just Air Balloon retreat and slap. And as you can see right now, my opponent, even though they have a gorgeous black and yellow, or blue and yellow Ice Rider VMAX with 2 energy and a choice belt, if they were playing against anything else, they would be laughing right now. However, since we've got Miltank there, there's nothing they can do. See where we're going with this. Now, we do have the Shady Dealings engine to help us, you know, set up. Not only will Shady Dealings help us set up via Drizzile and via Inteleon, because obviously what they do, if you don't know, when you evolve them, you can grab a trainer straight from your deck, as you can see perfectly here. Here we grab the Evolution Incense, so we can get our Dubwool into play. Not only that, however, there is an Inteleon, a sneakily good Inteleon, which lets you put 2 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon once per turn. This is perfect, because this is another way we can get damage into play. Now you can see there that I've clocked on that Radiant Greninja is actually going to be pretty good against us, because what Radiant Greninja does, a 90 snipe in 2 places. Now, the good thing about this, I say the only good thing about this, is that our opponent's going to have to attach 1 energy per turn. As it stands right now, because unless they play Palkia V-Star, you can't Melanie to a Radiant Greninja, so there's no way that they're going to be able to accelerate energy to it. Now, did you see that crazy Switch Cart? I was thinking at the time, what on earth is Switch Cart doing? Switch Cart, I mean, it's actually perfect against us, not going to lie. You know, healing 30 damage from your basic Pokemon and all that good stuff. And watch that Vit Band as well on our opponent's Greninja. That's actually super important. So we do have a little bit of chip in there. Hopefully we can start building towards a quick shooting Inteleon, so we can start hitting that bench. Our opponent does have a Garchomp V there, but in all honesty, I am not worried about a Garchomp V, because I can guarantee you right now our opponent will not be attacking with Garchomp V, because it is so costly. Let's have a look at what Garchomp V does, right? So it does for 3 energy 120, okay, and then for 4 energy you do a 220 damage snipe. Now, in all fairness, being able to snipe around the Miltank could be helpful. However, for 4 energy and you have to discard 3, you ain't doing that too often. And there we can see another way we can actually get damage into play is via our Old Cemetery, a really good stadium actually. Now deck space is kind of tight, so we can't run multiple of these, but we do have it in play here. And as you can see right there, when our opponent attaches energy to a Pokemon that's not psychic type, they take 2 damage counts. You can see that is perfect in a deck like this, where we are trying to rely as much on getting little incremental damage as much as possible. But as it stands now, our opponent seems to be out of luck. You know what I mean? Our opponent seems to be out of luck. They haven't found a boss yet and all that good stuff. So we are laughing. I want to turn your attention now to the Schoolboy engine that we are playing. Schoolgirl is actually perfect. As you saw there, it is a straight draw 4 when your opponent has 6, 4 or 2 prize cards remaining. This is actually insane. In a deck where we can really try and limit how many prizes our opponent can take. They can only take 1 prize at a time. So we know once our opponent takes 1 prize, we can start using the Schoolboy, which is exactly the same, but it's for odd amount of prizes. And Schoolgirl is slightly better, which is why I want an extra copy of that, because our opponent will always be at 6 prizes guaranteed. Now, we just attached a Capture Energy, which is really good because that not only provides the colorless, but it lets us get a Pokemon out as well. And as you can see there, we attached the Capture Energy just so we can get out that Manaphy, so our opponent can only hit the active with their attack. Now, that Capture Energy was actually super important. You can send me to Misplay jail for that, because actually, yeah, send me to Misplay jail because we just made a grave mistake. Do you know what the mistake was? Do you know what the mistake was? I'll tell you now. That attaching energy to the Miltank, and we took 20 damage, that 20 is actually super relevant because our opponent's Greninja now does 100 to the active via its Vitality Belt, which means our Miltank will now get KO'd in a situation where it otherwise wouldn't have. So slap on the wrist for me, don't do that silly stuff again. However, our opponent's free prize Pokemon is on 200 damage, so we can slowly start whittling that out, and if we get out quick shooting Inteleon, we will be in a happy fun time. But yeah, silly on me letting this Greninja take a KO, and it really didn't really have to. But you know, the good news is for this Greninja to attack, it does have to discard 2 energy. So like I said, because they have an acceleration for that, there will be no way for them to attack next turn outside of something crazy like a bead or a Palkia V-Star, which it looks like our opponent's not. Back over into our turn. So now our opponent's taken 5 prizes. We could use Schoolboy for full effect. Let's see what we do. Looks like we're going to evolve the Drizzile. Let's see what we grab. I'm thinking probably Level Ball makes sense just so we can get out our basics. Probably going to have to start getting down a Wooloo just in case, because one thing about this is that if you haven't got a spare Wooloo down, your opponent can just boss the wall and all that good stuff, which is kind of scary actually. But if we bounce, if we get a Dubwool out, that means we can't put a Miltank down. So peaks and troughs, and it looks like I'm thinking right. Our opponent's Greninja is only on 20 HP left, so that means we can give up Manaphy here, or please put Manaphy in the active, because what we can do is get out quick shooting Inteleon and send that Greninja straight to the discard pile, baby. Gee. Now we do see a Rapid Strike energy in our opponent's discard pile there, so keep that in mind. Our opponent has some sort of Rapid Strike Pokemon in their deck. We don't know what it is yet though. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy, right? And there we see the Tower of Waters as well, so there's definitely some sort of Rapid Strike component to this deck, but we don't know what it is just yet. Worth noting, Dubwool does have a second attack actually. Rolling Tackle for 2 colorless energy does 70 damage, and that's it. So it could be a higher multiplier to finish off some games, because you know, as it stands now with 2 powerful energies, what's that, 40, so 110 plus the Choice Belt is 140 damage. Not bad actually, not bad. That would KO the Ice Rider there, so keep note on that. Looks like our opponent pays retreat. They're going to probably, yeah, looks like they're going to attack the Manaphy. This is actually a crazy good scenario for us now, because what we can do, provided we can get our quick shooting Inteleon, we can just hit this now, and then not only is the Greninja going to be 20 health off KOs, so is the Inteleon. So let's go grab that now. Looks like we grab a quick ball. We're going to find ourselves a Miltank actually, just so we can have something to pivot into. There we go. Love that, love that, love that. And let's see what we get. There's an Evolution Incense, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, our quick shooting is prize, and it could be a long time until we find it. So looks like we're going to do the Schoolgirl, and yeah, so looks like we're going to just do a bounce. You could actually argue there, maybe going for the Rolling Tackle probably would be a better play. Yep, it probably would have been. So send me to Misplay jail. This is the good thing about doing post commentary, is that you can spot mistakes like that. We probably should have went for the one attacker there. Just take the KO, and our opponent wouldn't have had any attackers. So silly for me. Slap on my wrist. But I guess I'm a little bit fixated on getting the Inteleon. You know what I mean? Getting the Inteleon on deck and just winning the game from that. Now, we are kind of vulnerable to a boss's orders. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have it. Oh, there it is. There it is. So, it's actually not like terribly outrageous in the sense that all I have to do is just find an energy and then we can get back into the race, as it were. We've got a Schoolgirl to help us draw only 2 cards though, because it looks like our opponent is going to take some prizes. You can see me just checking there. So yeah, there goes Dubwool. Well done, Dubwool. You definitely, you know, got your work there. So now it looks like we're in a better spot of bother because we have to try and get this energy somehow. But the good news is at least we've got this Miltank in the active that can just tank hits. And then if our opponent wants to start going for that Greninja, we can always just Ordinary Rod back in Manaphy and then get back to work that way. So we go back into our opponent's turn now. Not 100% sure. It looks like I'm going to start setting up that Greninja, which is good, well, for them. If only our quick shooting wasn't prized. Do you know how mad this would have been? We could have just KO'd that Ice Rider, KO'd the Greninja, all that good stuff. We have noticed our opponent does have that Punkaboo there, you know, which removes a stadium when you bench it. That's how our Old Cemetery got bopped. Our opponent plays an Irida. Let's see what they grab here. Switch card. So that only heals 20, I believe, from basic. Let me double check that. It lets you switch your active, but if it's a basic, you get to heal 20, right? I think. Let's have a look. If you do heal 30. Yeah, okay, yeah. So they can't switch out the Ice Rider, but they're looking to maybe heal that Greninja a teeny tiny bit. But let me tell you now, we went from a strong commanding position in this game, and it's going to get very dicey. Looks like our opponent's going to start trying to attack with the Punkaboo. Maybe. I don't know. We top deck Level Ball. It's not great. But we're going to have to probably get down Manaphy now just to stop our opponent being able to use that Greninja for full effect, which is a little bit annoying. I'm not going to lie, a little bit annoying. I hope we just grab energy. I think we've got, did we check how many energy we've got? I think we've got, what, 4 capture, 4 powerful. Maybe it's just 8 in total. I mean, that's all you need. You only attack for 1. So we put down the Manaphy to stop our opponent using any Radiant Greninja shenanigans. Look, opponent gets rid of a Spiral Energy. Wow, so they've definitely got some real big rapid strike component to this deck that we don't know or we haven't seen. As it stands right now, we could do some boss stall shenanigans. Actually, we could boss stall that Ice Rider because that they looks like they mostly play a switch cart, switching engine. So maybe, you know, they don't actually play switch or escape rope or any of that stuff. But it looks like our Miltank is probably going down here, or at least taking a big old hit from this Radiant Greninja. And since we didn't use Old Cemetery like a silly, Miltank will be able to take a hit, luckily. All we have to do literally is just get 1 energy on that Dubwool and we are straight back in the race. One scary thing here would actually be if our opponent boss KO Dubwool, but we do have access and ways to get another one, so it's not really the end of the world. Look at our opponent's hand though. That is a stacked hand. Oh my goodness. See if our hand looks big as well, but we ain't doing a lot, are we? Oh boy. So that switch card is gone now, so hopefully our opponent shouldn't be healing any extra damage that way. So, you know, at any time, if that quick shooting comes out the prizes, we are instantly straight back in the race. And one good thing is that we're only ever going to give up 1 prize at a time, which is so good. So, no energy for us. Looks like we want a quick ball. Quick ball away, quick ball. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got 1 energy. We've got 1 energy left. Oh my goodness. So we've seen, what, 2 powerful energy. 1's in deck. So that means we prized, what, 5 energies? That makes sense. Hold on. So we've seen there's 3. We've prized a good few. We've prized a good few. I don't know if there's any. Oh, we might have won a discard pile actually. So I think we've prized 3 energies, right? So that's crazy. But luckily for us, our opponent is stuck. Not really doing a lot. Opponent attaches the Wash energy, which stops your water Pokemon getting hit by special conditions. Not bad, I mean, we're not doing that. So we're not doing that. Maybe it could be worth actually attacking with Miltank in this scenario. Let me tell you what Miltank's attack does. I know it's called Drought. 10 plus 20 for each one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. That could actually be a Pokemon worth attacking with. Maybe you could run some DTEs for that exact purpose. Our opponent used the Marnie's Pride. Now that is a card you do not see every day. I do not blame you if you don't know what that does. Let's take a look at that. Have a little guess now. If you get it right, let me know. But Marnie's Pride lets you attach a basic energy card from your discard pile. Now, one good thing worth noting actually, our opponent put a Dubwool City into play. That is crazy because we're actually getting towards decking ourselves out here. Only 3 cards left in deck, and that Dubwool City might give us an out. But there we go. We got the energy. Now look how quick this game can turn around. We've taken a prize card. Hopefully it's a good one. Okay, it's not a good one. However, this Punkaboo, I have to bring up Punkaboo's attack now because I bet you don't know what it does. I didn't know what it does either, but Punkaboo, our opponent, is going to use Punkaboo, which for 2 energy to Stampede, which is 20 damage, which is, you know, we laugh at it, but it actually takes the prize card. So we're in a close game now. Our opponent's on 2 prizes, we're on 5, but yeah, we do have another Miltank to put down, which is perfect for us, and the Air Balloon. And we can actually take 3 prize cards on this Ice Ride. And I told you, didn't I tell you? All we had to do is 5 energy and we're straight back in the race. You'd love to see it. We don't even need quick shooting Inteleons anymore. We can just use our Dubwool. There's quick shooting Inteleon now. Look at this. Dubwool out the prices. And all of a sudden it's 2-2. But there is a rapid strike Urshifu on our opponent's bench. And the scary thing is we have already used our Ordinary Rod, and our Manaphy is in the discard pile. So that rapid flow, which is 120 in 2 places, is actually terrifying. That is a terrifying prospect, and our opponent's attaching to it. Oh my goodness. So well, I know you guys can't quite see, but we have 2 cards left in deck, so we are going to have to take an off turn of attacking at some point to use Dubwool City to make sure we do not deck ourselves out. But as it stands now, our opponent just stampedes again for 20. Now we could boss. We do get quick shooting Inteleon into play, which I absolutely adore. Now the annoying thing is here is that both those guys actually have a free retreat cost, so there's no reason to ever boss up one of them. The only the easiest prize cards we can take here is probably the Ice Rider, since it can't actually attack into the Miltank. So worth noting. But we do go down to 1 prize card now, so the race is fully on. However, we only have 1 card in our deck, so we will have to, no matter what, Dubwool City on the next turn. Do you actually know what Dubwool City does? Bear with me, I will bring that up. Actually a pretty cool stadium. I think there could be some so yeah, our opponent just used it. We're gonna have to use it now as well. Is the Dubwool City, Dubwool Village, I should say. End your turn, we get to shuffle in your deck and get 5 cards. When you're about to deck out like we are now, that's perfect. So we're just gonna get a cheeky little bit of damage in via quick shooting, and then we get our hand back. We actually got some good cards there as well. I've got the Old Cemetery, we've got a boss, got the Radiant Hawlucha. In case you don't know what Hawlucha does, it's a really cool card actually. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to use it. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I didn't realize Manaphy was still in play. That is my bad. However, Manaphy is about to go down. That is terrifying. So now our opponent's rapid strike Urshifu is going to be scary. I think our only win con now, our opponent benched an Inteleon V. I think that's going to be our only win card, is if we boss that Inteleon V up and hope our opponent cannot retreat it. They've already used, I think, 3 switch cards. I can't imagine them playing any more, because that if we let the game continue like this, that Urshifu just attaches 1 more energy and we lose to rapid flow. So all we can do is boss up this Inteleon, hit him with a bounce, get a little cheeky quick shooting in there as well, and I think we can definitely 2-shot this Inteleon. I think I'm trying to work out here, do we rolling tackle or bounce? I think we still bounce just to force a boss, you know, anything like this, force an extra card. Now, does our opponent have a way to switch that Inteleon? It has a 2 retreat cost. We've already seen the Tower of Waters from them. We've seen at least 1 rapid strike energy, so they might have multiple copies of that, I'm not sure. And we've seen 2 or maybe 3 switch cards. They attach a basic energy from their hand, so that means only switching cards now or another Tower of Waters will win them the game. Actually, if they've attached to the active, that means they can't rapid flow. Our opponent uses Dubwool City. All we got to do now is just dink this Inteleon and we win, and we get a cheeky dub for the farmyard deck, baby. Farmyard deck. The barnyard deck takes the dub.